And we are live, guys. What is up? Thank you so much for joining. It is going to be a quick stream today. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Yeah, that's much better. Guys, today is going to be, a quick stream. But essentially, we're going to be going through a few easy topics today. First one is why men and women can't be friends. This is an age-old question. It's like the chicken and egg question, right? But we're going to be going through that. Give me a second. Alexa, turn on the lights.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to be going through that. We're going to be going through Mizkif today, guys. He completely crashed out over Emiru of, sexual assault allegations, which were apparently now fake, as Emiru said in this article. So we're going to be going through that. It's like a bit of a Twitch streamer beef. So we're going to be going through that. And last but not least, guys, Iran seems to be winning. Now, a lot of you guys probably wonder what victory means for Iran, because we know that the Iranians necessarily don't want to take out the U.S. empire or Israel, and they've been pretty confident in that stance, because they're not exactly directly attacking the continental United States, or they're not attacking, they're not exactly attacking the Israeli, civilians and stuff like that. They're more so attacking military bases, etc. Now, we're going to be going through that. And let's jump into it. I want to read this. I want to quickly go to this clip real quick, guys. This is Sarah Safari on Bradley Mann's podcast. I think it's called like Mommy and Daddy Talk, some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But here, man, this is crazy. And this is where we come into the first topic, where we say men and women can't be friends. And I'm going to play the clip through, and then after I'm going to give my commentary, all right? So let's go.
I remember this guy, we were friends or whatever, and then like he wanted to like hook up.
Friends or whatever.
We were friends. We were friends from high school. We genuinely had always been friends, and then he wanted to like hook up, and then I didn't want to. And then after that night that he wanted to and I didn't want to, he ghosted me. Like, he was not my friend anymore.
Well, he was never your friend.
I know, but
see, and this is why it goes back to guys and girls cannot be friends.
I genuinely thought we were good friends.
It's because you're innocent, and like you obviously haven't been through enough life to understand that that's not true. Guys always want something from the girl. Always.
They always want things, and so do girls. I think it's just opportunity waiting. They're just waiting for some opportunity, which is exactly what you described. Because then he did it and it didn't work, and he's like, all right, peace, gone.
Yeah, so obviously quite a bit to unpack there. Again, guys, it's going to be a shorter show today, but let's play this clip through and through, and we're going to go straight into it. As I said, I don't have much time.
Remember this guy, we were friends or whatever, and then like he wanted to like hook up.
Friends or whatever.
Yeah, so immediately, guys, you can tell that Bradley knows where this conversation is going to go. He knows that Sarah either understands it and doesn't want to admit it, or she doesn't understand it, and Bradley's now going to have to step in and explain it. But either way, Bradley does have to come in and explain this to her, because she might be, too scared to say it. Again, there's two parts here. Either she knows that guy that she was supposedly friends with was never a friend, or she doesn't know, and Bradley has to step in and explain it. So you can tell immediately off the bat that Brad knows. He knows. That guy knows.
We were friends. We were friends from high school.
And she keeps like reinstating like this. We were just friends. We were just friends from high school. Oh, he's just my classmate. But I think in the case of Sarah Safari, guys, she's famous Insta model, whatever. She definitely knows. And she just wanted to save face for a podcast. She's done this multiple times, by the way, guys, especially her stance on something like Gaza. She got confronted at some fitness event, and she basically got asked questions about Palestine, and she couldn't answer the questions properly, and her viewers got a lot of backlash at her, and she immediately went on to Bradley's podcast like a few days later to clarify her stance. So we know that, you know, she knows about all these issues. She's just too scared to say it, and she immediately does like this PR blitz to try and save face. But let's continue playing the clip.
We had always been friends, and then he wanted to like hook up, and then I didn't want to, and then after that night that he wanted to and I didn't want to, he ghosted me. Like
yeah, and you can tell like she's acting, you know, trying to act innocent. She knows what happened. She knows what he wanted from her. You know, he wanted box, but he didn't give it to him, and she's kind of looking at the cameraman, you know, kind of step in, bro. Can you please step in and explain this? Like, she's acting like the others should be surprised. Obviously, Brad's not surprised. Obviously, the cameraman's not surprised. Obviously, none of these people, none of the staff working there are surprised about, you know, what has happened and what has transpired and what the story actually means. They got it within the first 5-10 seconds, especially Brad. But, you know, she's trying to save face.
he was not my friend anymore.
Well, he was never your friend.
Yeah, and Brad knows. I mean, it's literally 28 seconds in the clip, and Brad knows.
I know, but
See, and this is why it goes back to guys and girls cannot be friends.
I genuinely thought we were good friends.
It's because you're innocent and like you obviously haven't been.
Okay, she's not innocent. She knows what happened, and a lot of the times, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna play it through, and then I'll.
Been through enough life to understand that that's not true. Guys either want.
Definitely has been through enough life to understand that,
Guys always want something from the girl, always.
and she knows that too.
They always want things, and so do girls. I think it's just
And she knows that too. She knows that women want things from men as well.
opportunity waiting. They're just waiting for some opportunity, which is exactly what you described. Because then he did it and it didn't work, and he's like, all right, peace.
Yeah, bro left. So that's the clip, and now I want to give my kind of extended commentary on this, right? So I said here, girls use men like this and then act like they didn't know. I thought we were just friends. Lol, of course you did. Now, of course, as I said, a woman like Sarah Safari, somebody who's very famous on the fitness influencer market, guys. Fitness influencer market is one of the most like promiscuous markets out there, right? And they know that men like this want one thing, and that's, you know, her sexual access. And if she doesn't give it to him, they're going to be, you know, dashing, you know, a quick pump and dump, as they say. Now, here's the thing. Even though she knows about this fact, she still decided to use a guy. And why did she decide to use him? Well, you have to understand why, you know, why men and women are friends, you know, in the first place. And the reason why is because when men get into some sort of friendship or any type of relationship, right? Let's just say co-worker, you have a relationship with your co-workers, a relationship with your boss, relationship with your friends, right? A romantic relationship with your teachers, etc. In order for the relationship to go well, again, whether this is a romantic relationship or not, men have to have some sort of utility. What is utility? Utility is essentially you have to be useful, right? And what does it mean to be useful? Well, in different scenarios, it means different things, right? In the case of a friendship, men having utility to make sure the friendship goes well means something along the lines of, you know, picking up your friends if they can't drive or they don't have a car, you know, going to your friends, training with them, going to the gym, helping them out, giving them advice, being there for them at their lowest, etc., right? Hanging out with them, having fun with them, etc., and helping them better their lives. Now, we know this. This is common sense. But for some reason, the knowledge doesn't transform. It doesn't transfer to the other aspects, to the other relationships, right? Because we just talked about the non-romantic relationships. We also have to talk about romantic relationships, right? That's where a lot of guys get stuck because they think that those two don't correlate. They, of course, correlate. And I would say, guys, with romantic relationships, you know, when you're with a woman, guys have to have even more utility because the utility is now used for many things. It's not just used during the relationship. It's also used just to get his foot into the door, you know, just to talk to a woman, just to talk to a girl. You have to have some sort of utility. You have to be useful. In the case of, you know, romantic relationship, you either better be tall. If you're not tall, you better be jacked. If you're not jacked, you better be good looking. You better be slim. You better be lean or big. You better have charisma. You better have confidence. You better have good speaking skills. You better be a good public speaker. You better be a good debater. You better be able to put yourself out there as a guy in order to even get your foot through the door. So this is what we're talking about, guys, when we say that men and women cannot be friends, because in a friendship, between a man and a woman, there's always going to be a lopsided deal. And normally the lopsided deal will favor the woman, and it will be a burden on the man. And the reason why it will be a burden on the man is because, again, to be in any type of relationship for a guy, right, whether it's romantic or non-romantic, whether it's, he's with a woman or he's talking to his teacher or his classmate or his friend at the gym, men have to have utility. And in the case of the modern dating market, as we know now, or even just friendship, the reason why I'm saying this is because, again, men have to do way more just to get their foot in the door than women. And in this case, it's not possible to hold a mutually exclusive platonic friendship like this for very long, especially in the modern era, right? We have access to so many things that distract us. We have access to so many things that would stray us off the path. We have access to messaging and social media, etc., where we're seeing people constantly. We're seeing beautiful women constantly. We're seeing attractive guys constantly, and it's very hard to maintain that level of basic respect and friendship. And that is why, guys, for a majority of people, majority of men and women, maintaining that platonic friendship is just impossible, because it will never work out. And even if it does work out, as Brad said here, the guy will always want something. The girl will want something. And the reason why I made this tweet and I said girls use men like this and then act like they didn't know is because they do. And before, actually used to be the other way around. Before, it used to be like, the guys would get with a girl, pretend to be a friend, get what he wanted, and then dash. But now it's the opposite because of feminism and the fact that we live in a gynocentric social order, right? What I mean by that, it means that we live in a world where women's needs are taken care of first, right? And their interests are taken care of first because they're seen as, the oppressed gender. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting clip, obviously. I don't hate Sarah Safari. I really like Bradley. So, props to both of them. But here's another one. I don't know which one we should go through first. Another one. This is insane, but I want to read this to you. This is a Reddit post. Somebody posted this on some thread. And I reacted to it. And I got 3.8 million views, by the way, guys. So it's insane. But anyways, it says, I married the typical had my fun and want to settle down girl. I found out 6 months ago that my wife had over 100 partners. She had a frat house in college where she would give guys BJs in the middle of the party, run around naked at parties, bragged about guys finishing on her face, which you know what this is. She used to compare guys to how much they shot in the back of the throat. Then she turned 35, wanted a family, found me and lied for 5 years, so until she turned 40. She won't even make out with me. She refuses to do oral. She refuses to even be naked. We only had sex for a kid, but I was a safe bet. I hate myself. This is fucking insane. This is insane. And here it says vent only, no advice. So the bro is basically given up, but that's insane. And read the replies here. No hymen, no ring. I'd rather die than end up like this man. So this is what I said, right? I had to be a little bit fair here because we know a lot of guys go through this where they marry, where they be the option that the girl settles with, right? They're the beta cock, and they're cocked out of their minds because the woman basically puts them on a leash and she wears the pants in the relationship, right? And this is what I said. I said, this is what happens when you're a blue pill simp who falls for the feminist propaganda. A woman's past doesn't matter. Are you kidding me? Or bullshit, and you simps buy this shit. And I'm completely right here, guys. The fact that these feminists keep on saying, whether it's on college campuses or in the workplace, etc., the fact that, a woman's past doesn't matter. It absolutely does, guys. And it does for this very reason here. It does for this very specific Reddit thread right here. I mean, there's tons of examples of this. And I'm only assuming, guys, that the situation has gotten worse this probably could be, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, this Reddit thread, but I'm sure that the situation when it comes to women being in college has become much worse. The fact that this guy's wife lived in a frat house in college and would give, BJs in the middle of a party, and, guys were finishing on her face, and she used to compare guys to how much, they shot. So she probably had like a estimate of how much their shot was, like whatever milliliters it was, right? And she used to compare the guys by how big the load was, etc. I mean, this is insane, right? This is insane. But the issue is a lot of blue pill simps will fall for this, and it's like insane. So it's like, I don't even know what to say to this, but people are going to be saying that it's fake. We already got guys, that are saying like, you're being so angry over a fake Reddit story. It's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think this is fake, and even if it's fake, it's insane, because I know this happens in real life. But I digress. Yeah, let's go to another clip real quick. Which one should we go to? Yeah, this one. I'm not going to give much commentary on it, but I'm just going to read out what I said. But this is basically an Aussie woman in her late 30s saying she got back from a 20-year-old school reunion and was crying in her car after realizing she doesn't have a husband or kids. Feminism sold her a lie. Let's see what this says.
24 hours ago, I was sitting here crying because it's my 20-year school reunion and I'm single. I have no kids. I was just sitting thinking, there's going to be all these beautiful families and I'm alone. I just feel like I've failed. I've just had the most transformative day of my career. But at the same time, I have no one to share it with. I don't have what's traditionally successful. I just wanted to say this because I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. And it looks like I have it all together, I think maybe, but like secretly, I'm terrified about failing and being alone. I feel like someone would need to hear that because I think I would need to hear that.
Yeah, I'm not going to give much commentary here, guys, but yeah, I feel bad for her. Of course, I feel bad for her. Even though I did say here that, we shouldn't give sympathy to these types of women in particular, because she obviously just posted this on TikTok to get a bunch of attention. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So don't give her the sympathy, but I do feel bad in general when it comes to these women that got lied to about feminism. It's insane. But yeah, I mean, we're going to go through one more clip right here, and I'm just going to read out what I said. That's all I'm going to do before we move on. But this is about dealing with sexual rejection in marriage. Let's see what it says.
Not tonight. I'm so tired.
Can I be honest? I feel like I've gotten rejected a lot lately.
I get it. But to be honest, it's hard for me to want intimacy when I don't feel connected to you.
I'm confused. Our daughter was off school, so we had all this time together as a family. We had dinners, we went to the playgrounds, we even went to stores together. How could we not be connected?
Because just being around each other doesn't mean I feel connected. Women, especially the longer they've been married, fall into what's called a responsive desire type. This simply means that their wanting intimacy is linked to how connected they feel in the relationship. This can be confusing to many partners who relate connection to the amount of time spent together or the absence of conflict. Like, we haven't been arguing, so we should be good. But this isn't how women experience connection. Intimacy can be an area of the relationship that creates connection or disconnection. If you want to understand more about responsive versus spontaneous desire, read the caption.
Yeah, so listen, here's the thing. I get her point, right? I get her point, and obviously she's just trying to help out people, but the thing is, this is kind of like extreme and over the top, right? When it comes to marriages, again, majority of guys, like this guy, he seems good enough, and he's just putting in the effort, right? He's taking her out to dinner. He's going to the playground. He's doing a bunch of things, right, to make her happy. He's spending a bunch of time with her, right? So he's doing all the right things, we can say. But even then, the woman is not feeling connected. Now, this is insane to me because, again, the guy can do everything right. He can spend the time. He can be there for her. There can be absence of conflict. Their communication can be great. They can be getting along great, but she doesn't feel connected, right? And this is the thing where it's like with women, it's just all about feelings. Like it doesn't matter, like if they're doing well financially as a family. It doesn't matter if the kids are happy. If the woman feels angry or feels sad or feels blue, it could all end. And this is what I said here. Yet another case of women creating arbitrary obstacles and expecting men to understand how to navigate them. I'll translate what she's saying. As a guy, even if you're putting in absolutely 100% effort 24/7, which this guy seems to be doing in the scenario, right? He's saying that we're spending so much time together. We're doing all sorts of different activities too to make sure that you don't get bored, and I'm being there for you. I'm always there for you. By spending as much time as possible, of course, in a healthy limit, right? Because everybody needs their alone time. And you never get into big fights with her because your communication is on point. She could still be bored and leave you at any point. Women want/need drama because that's what arouses them. They need to feel like they're on edge 24/7. And if you can't provide that feeling, then it's best you remain single. I'll be honest. These mind games are exhausting to play. And I'll be honest, guys, it is. It is quite exhausting to constantly have to understand what is going on. And even if you're doing the right thing, right? Let's just say it's a busy week at your job, right? And you're super tired, and maybe it's Ramadan too, so you're fasting, whatever, and you come home and you've done all the right things, right? You've done the laundry and you've paid the bills and everything is taken care of, but your wife is still unhappy. And she's unhappy because she's bored. She's bored because things are just going too well. This is insane. And these mind games, again, they're exhausting to play. They're very tiresome. It takes a lot of effort to understand what's going on in your marriage, even if it's going well. It might be going well, but because it's not going excellent, she's rejecting intimacy. So again, a very weird case. I'm not sure what the comment section are going to say. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Some comments are agreeing, saying like, yeah, wife should only have sex when she desires. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, I think this is kind of like the one where it's like she decided to marry you for stability, not for intimacy. That's what it is. Don't make it complicated. It's that simple. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people get married just because they're stable. The woman is good, comes from a good family, and the guy is making good money, and that's stability, right? That's nothing exciting, right? It's not like fucking The Great Gatsby or Wolf of Wall Street, where Leonardo DiCaprio is like walking around town, and he's like the hothead, and everybody is like looking at him and following him. It's not like that. So yeah, stability over intimacy for sure. And it's very hard to play these games. It's very hard to do that. But anyways, guys, next topic, briefly here. Mizkif broke down crying after realizing how evil Emiru is. Okay, so I don't know about this. I'm not in the Twitch world, but she stalled for 4 months before coming forward to claim that it was her emotional equivalent of SA, believing that no one cares anymore. He endured being called a rapist for 4 months by other creators. So that's insane if this is true. And again, apparently it was a fake SA allegation. And he got himself canceled. Now, here's the thing. I don't like Mizkif. Again, he's a libtard. And I don't like Emiru because, like, why should I? You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't give anything of value to me. Like, she's not educational, guys. She doesn't teach people, like, things. She hasn't taught me, politics or finance or law or anything like that. Nothing educational. She's just whatever. But we're going to play this clip of him breaking down and apparently saying that she accused him and his life was destroyed, basically.
And she waits fucking 4.5 months to stall this shit out so no one cares anymore. And her fucking response is that. Like, are you kidding me? And no one cares. No one cares. Like, no one wants to listen. It's so unfair. They go up my fucking throat for fucking cheese clips and say I'm an abuser. And that's her response. Her response is literally that it's her emotional fucking version of it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so she said that he didn't actually essay her. It was just her definition of essay, which is insane, right? Because again, when it comes to these sorts of accusations, guys, you need legal evidence, and you need, to be in court to see this. It needs to be confirmed legally that the essay actually happened. But apparently it was just her mental own mind definition, like bullshit something.
And she waits fucking 4.5 months to stall this shit out. Some fucking version of it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of Emiru, nor am I a fan of Mizkif. Again, I don't watch these people. They're not educational. They're not entertaining. I don't find any fun in watching them. But yeah, obviously effed up situation. A lot of people are saying that he should sue. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's insane. And we're going to go through one last clip. And again, I'm sorry, guys, I can't give my reaction because I got to go eat iftar. But this is insane. This is what I saw on this podcast. And I'm just going to read my thing. It's going to be enough for you guys, trust me. And this is a woman saying, this is the Richard Cooper posted this saying, she said the quiet part out loud, women love violent men. Okay. I mean, Rich is being a little rich here, but let's see what she says.
I'd prefer like physically abusive.
Do you have a good relationship with your parents?
Yeah, I do.
Are they together?
No. Both remarried.
How old were you when your parents got divorced?
I think I was 10.
No.
That's about right. That's Michael's type. That is Michael's type. Michael would prefer if you didn't talk to your dad too much, though.
I'm actually pretty close to my dad.
Are you okay with that, Michael?
Let's throw the football.
But he wasn't like a great dad, but we're close.
Oh, Michael, back in the game.
Love that about you.
How do you like to be abusive? Like in what form?
Verbally.
I think I'd prefer like physically abusive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You mean sexually?
No, just like violent.
So you don't mean being choked.
wow.
You mean him actually hurting you?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
like spanking?
No, like
Look how
You
she
wanna be
says it
choked?
with like a
I don't
complete
want to-
smile on her face, as if she's not like insane, you know? Obviously she's insane, but look how she's saying it with like a smile face. Not even a straight face, guys. She's just smiling. You know what I'm saying?
but if you had to pick a format of abuse, I think I would choose physical just because it sounds more fun.
God.
It turns you on.
Poor girl.
No, it doesn't. It just like I like
Poor girl.
violence.
Yeah. That's insane. But I'm just going to read what I said here, guys. And this is my pinned tweet, by the way. So when women talk about their nature, some men find it unbelievable because they've been taught something completely different from actual female behavior. Men are taught their entire lives that being a gentleman, holding the door, and giving up your seat on the train/bus is the way to attract women. And men often want to behave well for a woman because it feels good to be nice/taken care of others, as it should, right? But guess what? Unfortunately, the paradigm of the more you put in, the more you get out does not apply to women. This confuses the hell out of most men, as most endeavors in a man's life work on the assumption that the harder you work and the more you obsess over what the fuck happened? Over it, the more you'll succeed and achieve. This is true in high school and uni, as the more you study and consolidate your learning, the better marks you get. It is true in the gym, as the harder you train and the more you show up, the more jacked and in shape you be. Finally, it's also true in your career that the more hours you work, the more you train and focus, the more money and accolades you'll get. But attracting a woman is the only endeavor in a man's life where putting extreme amounts of effort and obsession will destroy you, not make you better. Being a simp literally means being desperate for a woman's attention and validation, and that by definition can never be healthy. There's a reason why nice guys finish last. We've heard that quote many times, by the way. There's a reason why abusive men are never single, also true, especially in countries like America. Women love dangerous men. It's called hybristophilia. They absolutely hate weaklings. It's what ex-felons, criminals, and drug dealers who are good looking get way more matches and messages on dating apps than the good boy who goes to church, holds the door, and sleeps early on a Saturday night to save himself for Sunday mass while everybody else is getting hammered, meaning they're getting drunk. Learn the game, do not hate it. So that's what I said, guys. And I feel like this tweet should get, I'm getting censored here in Australia because Australia doesn't have free speech, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, this is what I said. And I pinned this tweet, guys. You can go ahead and check out my Twitter. severe one, Rahman. But yeah, that's what I said. And I'm going to stand by that because that is something that I've seen as a pattern. This is pattern recognition. And of course, guys, this girl is in the extreme, right? She literally says, what does she say?
Violent.
Yeah, she says that she loves violent
Like
men.
physically abusive.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what?
You mean actually?
No, just like violent.
So you don't mean
She
being
just
choked?
likes being violent. Like she just likes getting beaten up, which is obviously messed up. But that's just the reality. A lot of women are like this, guys. She's obviously on the extreme point, right? Where she says, like, I want the guy to beat me up and be physically abusive, which is disgusting, right? You should never treat a woman like that. But again, this is what women are into, or women like this at least are into. So, you know, as I said, learn the game, don't hate it, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it for those first two topics. And we're just going to be going into Iran. And apparently Iran is winning, guys. They're winning this war of attrition. And it's a war of attrition because Iran does not have to, they don't have to bomb the United States or Israel. In fact, I don't want that to happen because I love America. I love Australia. It's my country. So, yeah, so they're winning because they're defending their homeland. But we're going to jump into Suleiman Spacey, and I'm going to look at Suleiman Ahmed's updates, guys, because he's posting these Telegram videos where Iran is bombing these other countries, and he gives all the latest updates, right? Like Dubai airport getting bombed and the Marina Hotel getting bombed as well. So we're going to quickly look at this before we end the stream, guys. So let's jump into the space.
So my question is there any coverage about that at the moment? Because I haven't seen any on your profile, Suleiman, and pretty much it barely gets reported about Lebanon and all this. But
coverage about what? Sorry.
Like in Lebanon, pretty much just.
Well, Baalbek being hit.
Yeah, Baalbek and pretty much
Just
any other
containers are on fire after an Iranian attack
in the past few hours.
on the oil terminal.
The residential areas.
Yeah, I mentioned Baalbek.
Port in the United Arab Emirates.
Baalbek was hit. I don't know if it was. I think it was in the last few hours. I don't know exactly when it was.
I heard you.
And Iran is attacking oil facilities because they know it's going to cause an economic convenience. As you know, guys, the Australian
launches from
the government has told people not to panic buy fuel.
Yes, but what happened? Didi was covering that. Remember, and Didi and Adam. Oh, where's Adam? Adam's not here. Didi's not here. But no, they were talking about that. But there was this blackout. They had that media blackout, and we don't. That we're getting some.
I've just arrived at an impact site where an Iranian missile hit earlier today, and you can see a massive crater right there behind me.
Guys, and
rescue workers still searching for people possibly missing under the rubble, and you can get an idea of how massive that blast must have been. If you look up there, this was a car that was propelled up there. This was by far the most significant impact today since Iran began retaliating after Israel and the US began attacking Iran this morning.
Yeah. So crazy. We're going to be looking at the other stuff.
Tie right there.
The girls' school that got hit in Iran.
Thank you. Come back
was
to
on the
BBC. Can you give us an update on what the administration knows, what you know now about the reported strike on a girls' school in southern Iran on Saturday?
All I can say is that we're investigating that. We, of course, never target civilian targets, but we're taking a look and investigating that. Red tie in front.
Just on the basis that with the information you would have, your reconnaissance abilities, ability to gather information, I mean, it's several days on now. So is there any clarity on whose munition this was?
We're investigating it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the biggest bullshit. U.S. is running out of defense interceptor missiles. Okay. So people are leaving Dubai, guys. Let's see what this is.
I'm leaving my home. That's what my friend Kim told me today when she left Dubai early this morning on one of the sporadic flights that Emirates is operating out of Dubai. Kim was heading to Chicago, finally getting out, despite a lot of frustration with the U.S. government.
There was
a little communication, not too much, to be honest with you. I was very disappointed in that.
Kim feels really lucky that she and her teenage daughter were able to get seats on this flight. I mean, Oman Air, which is operating flights out of Muscat, is telling people driving from Dubai to allow 12 hours just to cross the border into Oman. This war is forcing Kim to leave a place that she's lived for 30 years, a place that's home, the place she raised her 3 children, where they went to school. It is home.
None of this was here when I was here 30 years ago. It just feels depressing and sad to leave it all.
Kim filmed the Burj Khalifa on her way to the airport this morning, and she's a journalist, but I have to say, every single time I've been to Dubai, I take that picture, I take that video, because that building stands for the wealth and ambition of the entire Gulf. And now, no one knows what's next.
Oh, really?
But for
And
Kim,
we
at
know that
least right
CNN
now,
is owned by
it's another goodbye.
Grateful to leave. I'm sad to leave. I've called Dubai my home for the past 30 years. So it's been a bittersweet moment, but I know I'll be back.
Okay. Any other updates? 3 explosions in Riyadh. So Saudi Arabia's oil refineries are getting hit. And this is insane. This is what Israel's deputy foreign minister told Australia. Israel told Australia to get involved in this war and to join this war, which is ridiculous. And we're going to play this clip.
So my message to Australia is to wake up.
Israel's deputy foreign minister telling 7 News it's time for Australia to join the war.
I would expect Australia, with its long history of defending humanity and freedom throughout many wars throughout our history, I would expect them to actually join forces as well.
The Israeli government minister also had a message for Australians worried about the impact on fuel and gas prices, trade, travel, and our security, insisting controversially that the war would be worth it in the long run.
They need to understand what could have come in the future, which would have been far more dangerous, which would have been much more economically costly as
what
well.
she's saying, guys, is essentially this war is worth it, so shut the fuck up. And we don't want to hear about your complaining about the gas prices and the travel restrictions because we're going to create greater Israel. That's essentially what she's saying. She's saying shut the fuck up and let us fight. No one cares about you. So this is what, Tehran being hit? Israel always bombs Tehran at night, so weird. Yeah. Iranian strikes in Bahrain. Ooh. What is the explosion? Oh, there. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I gotta go. Thanks for being here, everybody. It's been a great stream. And we will do this again tomorrow, if not Sunday. Thank you, guys. Goodbye. Good night.